Oh, the build was. I think it was lightning. They melted a boss in seconds. I'm using infernal minions. Takes a bit to build up, but it's getting crazy. My minions are starting to do that right now. Yeah. I do like minion builds. That was the one thing with Path of Exile, though, is that you could have so many different, like, build combinations and variations. Obviously, there were ones that were, like, you know, kind of like the OP builds, because you always have, like, those types of builds in any, like, action RPG game, but there was a lot of viable builds. Like, they may not have been the best, but they were viable. The other thing that I noticed with playing Warrior is that you have to do, at least especially in the beginning, you have to kind of use combos, like, get, like, that heavy stun build up, and then do the, breaker combo, because then it creates like an explosion, it does more damage. It's not just like, oh, you pick one skill and then you just like facepalm, you know, the keyboard. Oh yeah, what I need. Oh, I haven't even been using my like leap slam. Ooh. Oh shit. This guy's still alive. This guy's still going. Oh, you're still alive. Chaos resistant. Well, I'm not hitting you with chaos, I'm hitting you with fucking fire, so... I've seen some complaints about Warrior, but also with Warrior killing a boss in one hit. That was probably the Slam build that, I think they ended up nerfing. They patched it, they actually hotfixed it, because it was, like, doing, like, crazy, insane damage that was just, like, overshadowing, everything. Huh. Yeah, they nerfed it. Which was funny because, like, technically people, I think, feel like Warrior is probably, like, the weakest class right now, but then they had, like, the most OP skill. I've been enjoying Warrior, but yeah, it's definitely one of those classes that you gotta use the dodges. You can't just sit there and, like, base roll everything. Like, At least in the beginning. Like I said, I think it gets a lot, like, now, like, things are a lot better. I got, like, the ascendancy and shit like that, but at the same time, there's still plenty of instances where I could literally walk into, like, a bad situation and get pretty much, like, one-shotted. But, to be fair, my resistances for, like, lightning and chaos, or not chaos, it's lightning and, I think, fucking cold right now aren't the greatest. This guy just resurrect these bitches. Get out of here. Titan. I went Titan mainly because of the build that I was thinking about going. Like, I was more than likely going to be using the rolling slam with, like, the leap slam, so this. It seems to be a little bit of, like, a tankier. It has some, like, regeneration or, like, life boosts in it, too, if I wanted to do that. And people were saying, like, there wasn't really that much of an explanation as far as, like, what the monkey does. Like, that whole meme, so I was like, yeah, not be completely miserable. I'm probably gonna go with something that's, like, a little bit more tried and true, I guess. I almost started out playing hardcore, and then I, like, remembered Path of Exile, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be dead within a couple. It's like, if I don't die to, like, a regular creature, like, I'm gonna get killed by one of the fucking bosses. I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna do standard at first. What that monkey do? Yeah, it's just like, yeah, let me not mess with that shit in the beginning. Let me go somewhat of, like, a safer option, I guess. So my guy's not completely, like, fucking bricked out. I'm gonna need you to die, Lich. Oh my god, stop falling on top of me, please. Unleash the beast. I want to take the demon form, but I don't know how to balance that with minions. Yeah, this is the only class that I've touched so far, so haven't delved into anything else yet. Oh, I love lightning. Shit that I have, like, no fucking resistance to. It's great. Blow your bitch asses up. Blow you up. Blow you up. We got Mr. Lightning Resistant. I still do have the, I always forget about my shouts too, man. Or the shout. Not shouts. And that I can technically hit shit from afar too with this thing. Go to hell? Regal shard. Ooh. Let's beat Act 3. I'm gonna go cook now. Game kind of big as fuck. Well, that's the thing that I noticed. Like, if you're really like exploring around shit and doing everything, like it's like each one of these maps is like massive. Oh, this is the other one. Okay. Let me see if there's anything down here and then go over there. Yeah, I'm the same. Like, I fully go through every single map the first time. That's why I knew, like, my first playthrough was gonna take longer, just because I like going around and, like, checking everything out. Find something that can be placed in the altar. Huh. Interesting. I'm still in Act 2 since I re-rolled. Yeah, like, that's how I came across, like, some of the, little, like, I guess, side bosses or whatever. Just exploring around. Oh, what's cool too is like, so you have like Act 1 that's kind of like linear, right? Like you go here, you go there, you go this place, so it's like you're doing that, but then you get to Act 2 and it's like, oh, you're in this caravan and you can actually like kind of choose to go in different places and do things in like a different order, so it's not just like, okay, you're on this other like linear path of just, okay, go, you have to go to this one, then you have to go to this one, then you have to go to this one, so it kind of changes it up a little bit. I just started that part. Yeah.
The first ones cannot help me here.
It'd be kind of cool too if they like gave you things to do to where it's like you had to kind of like go back to like some of these areas and it's like there's another like little side area that opens up or something. So it's like, okay, I'm done with Act 1, but then I'll never like go back to any of those places. But I guess when you go through and you do like the other difficulties and then you're doing maps and shit anyway, they don't really only, I guess, matter for like the campaign, because the end game you're mapping. Oh, they just explode on you. Okay. I like how they also made Path of Exile 2 a little bit more, like, accessible, and it's not as crazy with shit how, like, Path of Exile 1 was. I'm kind of glad that they took out, like, the linking of, like, the sockets. Like, that was cool. Oh, shit. Alright. Alright. We're getting a little crazy here. Getting a little crazy. I'm curious if there's much variation in Cruel Ice 1 to 3 when you're done in normal. Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people didn't like that they took out the linking and stuff like that because they feel like it's like taking out, you know, I guess some added depth to the game and that, but it was also the craziness and grindiness of like trying to get that like 6 link. So I just like that they just give you like the slots for your abilities or whatever, and then they added like being able to put like runes and stuff like that into your weapons and armor instead of worrying about like the linking of the gems. So it's like there's still stuff there, it's just a little bit easier. Another thing that's nice is that it's like a fresh start, so you don't have all of like the crazy like, alright, you've got this mechanic in the game that came from this league. You also have this mechanic that's in the game from this other league. You also have these other 5 mechanics that are in the game from these previous leagues. So then it's like you have no friggin' clue what any of the shit is that's going on. And that's kind of what kept me away from Path of Exile, like really getting into it more, because it was just so much stuff that was like compounding, like one thing after another after another after another, and it's like, did you have to engage with all of it? No, but at the same time it's like kind of wanted to because it was part of the game, so it's like, why would you not? I just always felt like I was behind the curveball on, or behind the curve on, Path of Exile 1, just because I never really, like, got into it and, like, stayed with it. The last league that they did, was the most I ever played Path of Exile, and for the longest amount of time. I don't even remember if I went through and actually finished, like, the campaign completely. I don't think I did. I think I was, like, my character was, like, level, like, 50-something or 60-something, and I still wasn't done with the campaign. I'm like, what the fuck? I basically only played a week or so before POT release. I got to Act 9 out of 10. Yeah, I forget which act I ended up stopping in, but I was like, Jesus Christ. I don't know if... I think that probably loops around to that one, maybe? It's a dead end. It's a pot. Oh. I kind of like the fact that they added gold into the game, too, so that you can actually, like, just straight up buy shit. And then you can also just spend gold to respec stuff, as opposed to, like, you need this orb, and you gotta trade this orb for that orb, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like, that was the other side of it, too. I was just like, Jesus Christ, you gotta know, like, all these friggin', like, currencies, like, what they're worth, like... I mean, generally, I'm doing, like... solo, maybe not necessarily like solo self-found, but I usually play action RPGs solo. Bruh. This is the shit that kills me right here. Get fucking slowed down. I need you to attack these things, please. So that I can just hammer you with fireballs from 9,000 miles away. So trading was never really like a big thing for me because I was always playing by myself or doing like solo self-found. Can't wait to go to start co-oping for real. Very underrated co-op game we have here. Yeah, you always play solo. I've heard PoE and one player say it took them years to feel like they understood the game. So that was the thing, right? So you had people that mained like Path of Exile, like that was their game and that's what they played, and it still took them like thousands of hours to really be like, yeah, I understand all this shit like fully. Which you don't have to completely understand everything to be able to play and enjoy the game. I just hate to feel like I'm missing out on something. So I like to have a fairly good understanding of like what's going on, how the mechanics work, how the shit breaks down, because that's just me. Extra crits. Stock emits. I can proc more of my skills if I had others doing different damage types. The monk belt stacks damage types and ups the damage. I didn't trade or anything in PO1 either. Yeah, I never really commingle in most action RPGs that I play. Now, the thing is, in all honesty, once I play through the game, like, I think my issue is like, I like to play through action RPGs or things that have, like, a story the first time by myself, so I don't feel like I'm being like rushed or that I'm like holding somebody else up. But it's like usually by the time I do that, then it's like either the other people that I knew that were playing the game aren't playing it anymore, or I stop playing it. So I just end up playing most of the shit by myself. It's also, I want to know whether or not, like, my build is actually, like, viable and doing shit, as opposed to, you know, somebody that I'm playing with is just carrying my character through the shit. Just found out Raise Spectre isn't in early access yet. It was my favorite spell to PO1. It looks so much better in 2. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's not in the early access yet. Like, I was surprised when I was looking at, like, the, weapons. Like, they don't have swords. They started with maces. I'm like, that's interesting. Like, there's a lot of shit that's not in the game yet. Soldier Greathelm. Okay, so in PO you don't have to mess with any league mech you don't like. It doesn't force you into having to deal with them. No, like, that's what I was talking about. You didn't have to necessarily interact with the stuff. But you kind of wanted to, so you had an understanding of, like, what it was, right? Especially for somebody like, say, for me, who never got to experience it when it was first there. So it's like, oh, what's this? But there's just so much shit that was in there at that point in time that it was like, holy Christ, like, there's just so much. That for, like, a new player, like, it's definitely an overwhelming game. Like, you can, like I said, you could get through it, you could be okay, like, you didn't have to interact with everything, you didn't have to understand everything to enjoy it, play the game, you know, beat the campaign, get the story side knocked out and all that stuff. But, like, to have, like, an overall good grasp of the shit going on, like, you'd have to spend a lot of time. Hello? Are you studying? Are you done studying? What you doing? Huh? Eh? Okay. Didn't mean to. Oh. That's what's cool about this is, like, if you stick with it and want to co-op during Cruel or in game, let me know. Yeah, once I get through the story side of it and, like, complete it, like, the first go around, I'll probably be more into, like, just jumping in and playing with people. I just like getting through the game, at least the first time, by myself. And then after that, I really don't care, because it's like I can just skip through shit. I don't have to, like, read shit again and all that stuff, because I already went through and did it.